Megan, you danced a K-pop cover of BTS's Mic Drop throughout all 3 trimesters of your pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
I got to listen to it. I got to watch you dance. I got to film it and put that project together with you. It was super exciting and exhausting. Why did you do it?
So why did I choose the Mic Drop song for my pregnancy anthem? Well, because Mic Drop talks about how BTS overcame so many things with hard work. And for me, the hardest thing I've ever done is be pregnant. I mean, they talk about labor being hard, and it's called labor for a reason. You need deliverance from it. But pregnancy in of itself is extremely hard because you're in pain every single day. At least I was for 9, 10 months. And then when it ends, you're given a life to care for, and you don't really get to recover. At least here in America, you're on maternity leave, but pretty much everyone's mentality at that point is just, hey, after 6 weeks, you're back to normal, get to work, take care of the baby, do everything. And that's just not right. How I'm going to connect to the song lyrics a little bit more. So I have them in English here since a lot of them are in Korean. Right away, J-Hope opens the song with, yeah, who said my spoon is filthy? And he's kind of referencing like the golden spoon mentality and how, not everyone in BTS came from money and they weren't just given these successful careers. They worked really hard for them. Then you go on into Sugar's verse. You thought I was going to fail, but I'm fine. Sorry. Sorry, Mom, your son's too hot. I'm being a good son in place of you. So let's just break that down. A lot of artists, Sugar included, your parents don't necessarily support you going into that as a career. They're scared you're not going to make it.
The music and dance.
Yeah, that you're not going to be able to make money doing what you love. And so to have the backbone and the courage and the hope to do it anyways against your parents' advisement, you have to have all of that integrity. So kudos to that. And you feel sorry, like, sorry, Mom, like you want to make your parents so proud, right? And so, but you're going against it in courage and in hope. And then he talks to his competition, I'm being a good son in place of you. I love that because not only is BTS like 7 kings of K-pop because they're so ridiculously talented, but here he's talking about, I'm going to be a better person than you. I'm not going to just be a better rapper than you. I'm going to be a better person than you. Like that speaks to integrity again. Love it. No cons in our concert. I do it. You're a tasteless ratatouille. If you're jealous, sue me. And I love that is the insult he went with for his competition. You're a tasteless ratatouille. It's so classy. He's not going beepity beep beep beep. So it's very classy. And it's a play on words from earlier in the song about how his competition here is tasteless. They have no flavor. They're not good enough. They're bland. No taste.
Is a chef, right?
It's a dish.
It's not a mouse.
It's
right?
a pasta. It's a pasta dish.
I thought it was the mouse movie, right?
It is a mouse movie about a mouse becoming a chef. Yes.
Okay.
Watch us both be wrong.
Correct us in the comments.
Okay, so in the lyrics he goes on, oh, if you're jealous, sue me. Whoa, the amount of integrity you have to challenge your competition to be like, look into it. I know I'm living above reproach. I know that this music is original. You can come for me, but I'll be fine. So it tells me that they know it's original work and they're living above reproach.
That's incredible in our time.
Right? Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the song. The chorus, did you see my bag? My bag's filled with trophies. How did they get all those trophies? Incredible hard work. Just keeping it going. Oh, in RM's verse, he has a line. He says, right will prevail in the end. That line alone is a mic drop.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch that. Then later in the RM's interlude, he says, haters gonna hate, players gonna play, live a life, man. I just love that that's his encouragement to his competition or an enemy. It'd be like, focus on you, go live a life. Again, I felt like that was a very kind thing. It's good advice.
He is saying it's low-minded to focus on tearing others down, to spend your time.
That's how I took it. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, you could spend your time living a life and building yourself up instead of tearing others down.
Yeah.
And then Jungkook, in the bridge, they talk about no need to see each other again. This is my last goodbye. Nothing more left to say. Don't even apologize. And again, I love that because he's like, don't give me a fake an apology for hating on me. Like, you said what you said. Stand by what you said. Be a man of your word. We don't have to agree. You can walk away. I can walk away. And again, encouraging people to walk away from a conflict instead of heat it up or make it worse. So this song is actually kind of full of integrity. It's showing their integrity while they're singing about the hard work and integrity that they had in their journey to get the success that they had. And so just the message, hard work pays off, and tying that back into like my pregnancy journey, when you have to believe that before you get pregnant. Like, I'm going to make it through this hard journey to the success of having a beautiful, healthy baby. That's your hope, right?
Especially when you've done it once and you know how hard it is. And deciding I do want to do that again.
I do.
We have enough love for 2 kids.
Yeah, we do. Yes. And I've got enough hope that we're going to make it through. Such a marathon. It takes a lot of mental strength as well as physical strength in the pregnancy journey.
Well, you were a champion.
Thanks.
Still are.
You were a great coach. So kind of diving into our pregnancy story with Gabby, our second daughter. Her journey really started, a year before I got pregnant, and just thinking like, now would be a good time to have a second child. I was having some hormonal imbalances and it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in our daughter Gabby's story, we saw God provide through many different challenges. And this brought our first daughter, Rosie, and others into praying with us.
Yeah.
We saw our first daughter grow in her desire to pray, and we got to see God answer that prayer.
Yeah.
We'd pray with her at night, God, please give us another healthy sibling.
Which was awesome, because then when God answered that prayer and we did get pregnant, she was like, God answered my prayers. So for like a 4-year-old to see that God answers your prayers was really cool. It also led me to research the risks around me getting pregnant. So I struggle with diabetes, and that makes it a high-risk pregnancy with gestational diabetes. I'm older. I'm 35. That's another high-risk factor in pregnancy. That's the first year it's a gestational pregnancy.
That's not the word they use for it.
Geriatric, yes. Much more rude. Okay, so I'm a geriatric pregnancy, gestational diabetes guaranteed, and then Rosie was sunny side up.
Yeah.
And so right away we knew this would be a C-section, and that if this child had my husband's height, tall genes, which she does, she would probably be in a weird position, talking C-section, maybe emergency C-section for that. And then because of all those 3 high-risk factors, we throw on risk of preeclampsia. And my mom had it with my sister, so there's a genetic risk of that too. So I'm now 4 high-risk factors before I even get pregnant. And so like researching them and like choosing to believe like that it's going to turn out okay despite all of that. So it led me to have a lot more faith.
Yeah, and I think it brought us closer together within the knowing the challenges in conceiving our second child. Kind of plays with your mind a little bit, challenges honestly your unity as a married couple and your intimacy, and God brought us through that in an incredible way. I love you. It's just we've been through the trenches of this challenge together.
Yeah, because choosing to get pregnant anyways, knowing that I'm going to be high risk 4 times over, and then living through it, and throughout the whole journey having to choose faith over fear, of like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, I just couldn't let my mind go there. It was just part of my journey. Like, nope, we're just going to keep believing it's going to be okay. Like, God is giving me this baby. I'm going to keep believing he's going to give me this baby. And then we had a miscarriage scare at week 18, which again, just kind of showing how into faith I was. I refused to, I didn't even tell
You
him
never said the word miscarriage.
until after Gabby was here and born and healthy.
You just said this could be dangerous.
I was like, this could be really bad. Like, I think I said, I think of going into early labor, but for me at that time, I knew, I was like, if I go into labor at week 18, this is going to be a miscarriage. Like,
the percentage of viability was
like 0.
I don't think it's actually 0 at 18.
You want to Google
It's
it?
low.
Let's Google it.
Okay. I mean, miracles can happen at any time.
That's true. The survival rate for babies born at 18 weeks is typically less than 1%.
Oh. Okay. So it's 0 point something.
Yeah. So I was like, this would be a miscarriage, but I didn't tell you that. I was just like, I think I'm in early labor. Take me to the hospital, like right now. I didn't want to freak you out.
I was nervous enough.
You were panicking, I could tell. And I was in, I'm having contractions and in a lot of pain, and you're panicked, and I didn't want to make it worse. So I didn't even speak it. I was just like, we're going to the hospital.
So God allowed you to stay pregnant.
Yeah, he did. I did not miscarry. I learned that if you don't drink enough water, you'll have Braxton Hicks contractions, which is what essentially was happening. And then really from week 18 on, once you get Braxton Hicks, they stop for a while, but you can then get them at any time. So any time after that.
I'm told that those hurt like a mug.
Yes. So that was scary, but at that point, it told me like I needed to spend more of my attention taking care of myself and doing the things that I needed to do, like drink water, like just slow down.
Take the recommendations seriously for your health.
Yeah, so like, I mean, not that I hadn't been, but it was really scary. And I just was like, at that point, I was like, okay, like this pregnancy is first.
I think I filled your water bottle 1,000,000 times.
You tell me I have a gift of knowing, like, you've sat down, you've laid down, and being like, well.
It's okay. It's a joy. It's a joy, not a duty.
Let's see. So we got through that, but there was a blessing to it of like, so the next thing was getting the official diagnosis of gestational diabetes, which we knew was probably going to happen because of all of the high risk stuff and the research we did. We had already chosen an amazing hospital with the best NICU in our region. And that gave me a lot of peace. They were great at, like, as soon as I got that diagnosis, they're like, okay, you're coming in every single week for checks, checking on the baby. And so when you're high risk, there's a lot more doctor's appointments and long doctor's appointments.
You made it to the 3rd trimester before getting put on insulin.
Yeah, because once I got on insulin, my numbers were way off. And they're like, okay, if your numbers are off for like 2 consecutive weeks, we're going for an emergency C-section. We had just entered the 3rd trimester. So I was like, okay, well, I could go into have an emergency C-section 2 months early. So like that brought us up, like, we need to be ready. We need to be ready tomorrow, which turned out to be a blessing for me at my full-time job, because I was like, oh, I need to get my coworkers ready like tomorrow, letting them know, like, guys, I don't know, like, if I'm going to make it to week 40, like, ideally, I'd hit my due date and it'd be around this time, but it really could be any day. Yeah. And I just started saying that to people. They see that you're pregnant. When are you due? I'll be like, it could be any day. I have no clue. I'm just monitoring my sugars and going with it.
Yeah, that's a testament to your faith and also your skill as a person to be personally prepared.
Yeah.
You made a packing list, and I put that suitcase in the car like 4 weeks early.
Like 2 months. 2 months early, at least.
Yeah, I forgot what was in that suitcase. Like, I was living without some of those things, and after the baby came, I was like, can finally have my...
Yeah, and then I had like a smaller bag for like our toothbrushes and like the things we use every day
Yeah.
that we just throw in when it was time.
And we had the best snacks this time.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom. She made these fig balls.
Energy, like date
Energy, like
balls.
no-bake cookies.
They were amazing. So diabetes can be a chronic illness. Like it has pains with it. I was having Braxton Hicks. The blessing there is that like God is my strength, right? So I got to share my burdens with you
Yeah.
and be loved anyway, like in a whole new level.
You have permission to be human.
Yeah, like this pregnancy was definitely harder than my first one. In my first pregnancy, you were working a full-time job out of the house, whereas now you work remotely in the house.
Yeah.
And so like you got to see my pain and my weaknesses on a whole new level, just to see how chronic illness is constant. It doesn't let up. It doesn't go away. Flares up. You have good days, you have bad days, and to just be there, like,
Yeah.
I felt so loved that you saw all of that and you're still here. You want to talk about how like that changed you?
So the phrase that we use is like, I've been your hands and feet. It's easy to do things grudgingly when it's so repetitive, and like, when is she going to do this for herself? There was a moment standing in church and worship, and I realized God wanted me to serve you like he served us. He wanted me to lay down my life, to get down and wash others' feet like Jesus washed his disciples' feet. And how he says, whatever you've done to the least of these, you've done them to me. Like every drink of water I brought to you, God cared that I had a good attitude
While doing
when
it.
I got your drink of water. And all the things. It was a slow transformation, and honestly, I'm still in progress.
We all are. Like, God's working on all of us. But you are, like, you just did so many things with joy this go around, taking care of me, that were humbling. Like, when you're pregnant, you can't tie your own shoes, or, it's so much work to roll out of that bed to get the water bottle full, or walk up and down the stairs. Can you go get this for me so I don't have to?
Yeah, I just did double chores.
Yeah.
And the parenting, the running around.
Yeah. We made
let
it.
mama nap, guys. Let mama nap.
Then she's happier, which makes you happier. Happy wife, happy life. So that's one way that, like, through the marathon nature of it all, like, you grew in joy in serving. Yeah. And again, our daughter's prayer life grew. Near the end of our pregnancy, she'd be like, Mom, I want to go to the altar and pray for you at church. And she would be like, and I'm like, well, I don't want to get up. And so like Dad and my 4-year-old would go to the altar and pray for me. And that was just so inspiring for me. Like, I'm an introvert, and come from a Baptist background where we have a joke that you like to sit in the back row Baptist. So to have her with her extrovert father, like, going to the front, praying for me, and just full faith, like, God already answered my prayer that I have a baby sister on the way, and he'll answer my prayer that you guys will be healthy. Because, you can't really hide that much illness from your kids. Like, I always tried to show that Mommy was happy. Mommy, loved her and, you, while I was not feeling great. But she could tell, like, Mommy needs more naps. Mommy can't get on the floor. Mommy's not feeling great. So she knew something was up. And so I didn't really, like, keep that from her. I just like, hey, Mommy doesn't feel good, but Mommy loves you. Yeah. Mommy will play with you. Mommy wants to watch you play. Mommy wants to hear you. So I was trying to connect with her anyways. But yeah, it grew her prayer life. So then about week 37 of pregnancy, which there's 40 weeks, which that's more like 10 months than 9 months. But anyway, so why are we lying to moms about that? So it's week 37. I had Rosie at week 37. I'm like, all right, I have made it. Like, let's just have the C-section. Well, policies have changed here where when I had Rosie in 2020, 37 weeks was considered full term. But it's no longer considered full term until week 40. What that meant was the hospitals did not want to or could not start a C-section unless there was an immediate reason, like an emergency. So you're going to wait till your scheduled C-section date. Again, we had already known the position of the baby. We knew that this was not, that it was necessary, that this had to be a C-section. But my body went into labor anyways. All those Braxton Hicks caught up. So I went into labor in week 37. And what happened, like, I'm having these contractions. There are different levels of contractions. They're not going to give you a C-section unless you're in the highest level of contraction, most pain. That's called active labor. I would get into active labor contractions. This happened, we went to the hospital at least twice in this time. For that. I'm in active labor contractions, having these high intense contractions, but my water would not break because the way Gabby is just like a plug. Like, even if she broke the water, it's not going to come out. She's plugging it up.
Her back was...
yeah, like, you can't fold someone's spine in half. Like, she's covering it up. It's not going to happen. So they wanted my water to break or to dilate. But again, to dilate, the baby's head pushes down. But her head isn't there to push down. Her back is there. So, like, I knew that because of her positioning, there was no way my water was going to break, and there was no way I was going to dilate on my own. But with this hospital's new policies, they could not give me a C-section unless one of those things happened in addition, to be like, oh, she's in labor, she wants a C-section, give it to her. And the baby, praise the Lord, was not in distress. If the baby had been in distress during that time, they would have gone ahead. That would have been an emergency. We would have had the C-section. But nope. So essentially I'm in what we call like early labor. And so my body would work up to active labor, intense pain, and then my body would stop being in labor because my water wouldn't break and I couldn't dilate. And so it looked like having about 5 hours of contraction straight and then getting a break. And then as soon as you kind of felt rested, have another 5 hours of contractions, break. And that was my pattern for 2 weeks. Week 37 and 38. Because my doctor did schedule my C-section in week 39 because she had been with me on this journey. She knew, like, so like the very first day the hospital would allow me to have a C-section, I was there at 5 a.m. I was like, we are doing this, get this done. And I show up and they're like, oh, do you know you're in active labor right now? I'm like, yes, I know I'm in active labor right now. Please just get this baby out of me. I have been asking for 2 weeks. Get this baby out of me. So that was rough because, 2 weeks, 5 hours a day. So 5 times 14, 70. I labored for 70 hours with this child before the C-section. So people ask me now, like, oh, was scheduling a C-section easier? Well, sort of. Having to wait for it. Do not love this new hospital policy. Having policies that don't take individual stories and situations into account hurt the mother. This is an example of how this was hurting me. And an example of how serious this would have been, because without a C-section, like, had this been, 100 years ago, I'm pretty sure we both would have just died. There's no way this baby would have come out on its own without a C-section. So, like, I'm thankful for that technology. But yeah, so I'm sitting here being like, Lord, why aren't you delivering me? Like, I've been in labor for 70 hours. Like,
Labor and delivery. Deliverance, please.
is this ever coming? Um, and then we get into, we go into the C-section. Shout out to our hospital and the team. They were incredible.
They were. They were happy to, like, see you every time you needed to go into the ER. Like, come back.
Yeah. All of those times of like, okay, I know I'm in active labor. Like, please just let me have the C-section.
They just couldn't do anything, which is frustrating, probably for everyone.
Yeah. Because they see that I'm in pain. They're like, it'll stop soon. Yeah. I'm like, okay, thanks.
I had to sit there and watch baby's heart rate go up with your contractions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she doesn't like this.
No, nobody's enjoys a contraction. No. But so
You had to trust God a lot through all that pain, didn't you?
yeah, and I had to trust his timing because I'm like, okay, Lord, like why are you making me wait? And then there ended up being a reason, which is for baby's health. Baby needed us to wait those 2 weeks. I did not. My body was going down, but she needed those 2 weeks. Since I had been on insulin, which I had not been on insulin with our first kid. So he sustained me through those 2 weeks. And he provided health to Gabby, despite the side effects. So what happened in the C-section, we had a few scary things happen. One, I had a spinal tap or a spinal block instead of an epidural, and that can drop your blood pressure.
It really did.
And for me, it did. I remember, because you're awake during a C-section, and then being like, okay, let us know how you feel. Like, and I was just like, I feel sick. Like, I was like, but the anesthesiologist was there, took care of it right away, brought me back, and we were good to go.
Pre-op took probably an extra 50%. I'm waiting in the hallway praying, like,
Yeah.
Are we gonna start? How is she doing?
Yeah, because they have the dad sit out for the big needle in the back part. So I felt like I was gonna puke. With that blood pressure dropping, and
they were ready with the
but
red
they were
meds.
ready. They brought me back. I was grateful that they stayed with me the whole time, to make sure no more complications occurred because of that. That also showed me how serious like blood pressure drops could be and kind of what to look for down the road. Okay, what else happened? Also, for those who don't know, when you're in a C-section, like they lay your arms out, you're in a cross shape, which is just so like fitting to me. But what is interesting with a scheduled C-section is I walked into the OR and climbed up on my cross, laid out like this to be cut open. My blood pressure tanks. I'm like, am I going to pass out? Am I going to come to? Am I going to see this baby? And you're just laying there, completely a willing sacrifice to bring this life into the world. So shout out to moms. Like, there's such a testament and a strong symbolism there of the love and sacrifice you have and you make for your kids. So then next, baby comes out, but Gabby's lungs had fluid in them.
She was purple.
Yeah.
That scared me.
So they had to suction out her lungs and give her oxygen. So I didn't get to hold baby right away. You didn't get to hold baby right away.
No, there were 3 people who had their hands on her at all times until she was stabilized.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Lord, for a wonderful hospital. But like that is really scary. Like, so it was needed that we were at this hospital. So they took her, they suctioned out her lungs, gave her oxygen, gave her some breathing therapy. And you said during that, so she was making some noise. It just wasn't like they listened for a cry. They want to know that the baby's lungs are really good. You said she was making some noise, and then there was a point where she just stopped making noise,
Yes.
and that scared you. Yeah.
During the labor, though, like I feel like God put a song in my heart to hum, just to stabilize me, so you could know that I was there, even if you're halfway conscious.
Yeah.
And for Gabby to hear for the first time, I believe I was singing or just humming the tune from Chris Tomlin's "Holy Forever," which is
Yeah.
I don't listen to that music all the time, so it was interesting for that to come to mind. But it goes 1,000 generations falling down in worship to sing.
The glory of the Lamb.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't remember it right now.
Look up the lyrics; they're very fitting.
Yeah.
But you humming was, it was so soothing and calming because I knew that it was a Christian song. I know the song, right? That you were humming, and
I don't know the words. Apparently, I just could hum. I didn't want to be that awkward guy in the surgery room.
That's so honest to our personalities too. You're this instrumentalist, and I am a lyric song. I love to write lyrics. You love to write music. Yeah. So, but because she had to be rushed off to get help right away, they kept her in the same room. They had everything they needed to take care of her in the same room, but Dad and baby are now across the room, and so I could hear him humming.
Yeah.
I couldn't see them. The curtain was up to not see everything.
At that
But
moment.
I could hear him, and as long as he was humming, I knew they were okay and that they were there. So I didn't know that you had these scary moments with her until later.
Yeah. They were waiting for her oxygen to come up from like 70, 80, 90, and to see her color come back and her heart rate stabilize. They were just rubbing her little legs, purple to white to pink to red.
Yeah.
But I got to hold her little hands.
Yeah.
And just stay there.
And hum, and
Talk
she
to her.
knew your voice. The babies know the parents' voices when they get here, so I'm
Yeah.
sure that was comforting to her too.
Yeah.
And again, just seeing God's provision that like she did start making noise again. She did get the oxygen. She did come to. Everything with Gabriella has been almost scary. Like she pushes us right to almost emergency medical, but then backs away. So like that was a great example of like, hey, this could have been way worse. But you kind of need to breathe to live. So like you're right there, like you need oxygen. Okay, you're okay. Okay, we're okay. So after that, we go back to our room for our hospital stay for I think it's 4 days on insurance here in the States. Again, it's crazy to me how much better other countries give their moms longer stays, longer care, all of that. We need to learn from that here in the States. But so we're back in our room. They have to monitor my blood sugar and baby's blood sugar from this diabetic journey we've been on. And Gabby has 2 low blood sugar readings. If she gets a third, she's going to the NICU. They take her to the NICU for an IV. But that's, again, another like scary moment because we're like, okay, I know we chose an amazing NICU. That's why we're here. But like, no mother wants her baby to end up in the NICU. But also knowing like there's nothing I can do about this at this point. Like this is her body learning how to monitor sugar, not my body. It's nothing related to what I can eat or drink or exercise or do. Her body's got to figure this out. They also put her on formula and breast milk right away to, at that point we were like more formula, no breast milk because we needed to monitor how much sugar is in what she's getting. Is her body able to handle that sugar, balance it herself? But she did not get the third high reading or low reading on blood sugar, so we didn't have to go to the NICU. Again, another huge blessing. I was like, okay, God came through again. So again, he's coming through this whole story with her like with becoming pregnant, with sustaining me through the pregnancy, through all the early labor attempts, through the insulin shots every night.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'd have to give you an insulin injection.
yeah, and again, how God uses that. He stirred up a desire for science in our daughter's heart throughout this process. She's 4, and she wants to see Daddy give me my nightly shot. And she's there with a Band-Aid, ready to be my nurse and hold my hand.
Oh, she had a strap of Velcro for one of my cable ties, and she wanted to put it around your wrist, like scratchy side in, was the hospital bracelet.
Because she learned, we let her go on a hospital tour with us, that you get a bracelet at the hospital. So every night she's like, Mom, you got to put your bracelet on for your shot. We're at the hospital. I'm your nurse. Let's go. If I made a face because the shot hurt, and she'd be like, Dad, stop. You're hurting her. She's ready to be a patient advocate. She is ready. She loved learning. There's a YouTube channel, I'll put it in the description, where you can watch surgeries in Play-Doh, like to explain it to a child. She used to watch all of those videos, and once more is just so not scared about it and
Mm-hmm.
so brave, like, well, yeah, they're gonna cut mommy open, she's gonna be okay, this is what they're doing, she knows,
Mm-hmm.
she's ready. I was really like amazed by her in this process. The side of blood, I intellectually love science. I'm like, oh, I should have been a doctor, until like you're there and there's smells and sights, and I can't, man.
And you are such a trooper. I have probably like a 6 out of 10 accuracy on giving you insulin.
What? You tell me that now. You did great at the time.
I get it. I gave it to you.
Because I couldn't give it to myself. Like, that's what I mean. I'm like,
So
I
often
don't
I
want
don't think the
to.
needle went deep enough, and it gave you like a welt of insulin, like right under the surface of your skin. Like, well,
We made it through. I'm
take
not
it
on
out.
insulin anymore.
We have to do
So,
that.
yeah. More blessings, right? So,
Still don't know what subcutaneous means.
it's one of the words we learned in our journey. It's the angle of the needle, that and what angle it's supposed to go into the body.
Just make the
Anyways.
needle the right depth, please.
So, anyways, that was kind of the last of the scary things, when the medical professionals said, "Hey, Gabby's doing great monitoring her blood sugars. You don't have to go to the NICU." We've been in the clear since. So for me, you can't really get an A1C test to test your blood sugars until 6 months postpartum. My body's still balancing hormones, still figuring out how to handle sugar again. I'm not on insulin currently. I could be in the future. You never know. But it is a great motivation for me, knowing diabetes runs in my family, to keep working out. It was a huge reason why I wanted to dance through the pregnancy.
You did great.
Just keep moving, keep trying to eat healthy, which is way harder in the 4th trimester, which is what we call postpartum, because like your body's thinking, I'm feeding too, I need to make breast milk. Like, I have been so crazy hungry that for like high fat, high sugar, mostly high fat. Your body wants healthy high fats, but for me, I think that should be ice cream. No? Okay. So we're working on it. We're still, there's still a recovery journey that I'm on. We've been kind of showing that on YouTube with recovering to getting the lung capacity back from having your organs squished. At 6 weeks, I get the clear and I start the workout journey, to get back to dancing. That's a whole nother journey. But what I want you to see here is like, it was a scary journey that required a lot of hard work. And throughout that, God provided for us time and time and time again to have our miracle healthy baby and for us to be here. And Mic Drop was such a good song for it because it was like, I'm going to make it through no matter what people say, who are like, because I'm having doctors be like, this could get scary. This could, I'm getting all of those opinions. I'm, getting feedback at work about like, stay dedicated, stay here, but I'm also having contractions. Um, and then the second you're a mom, everyone has all of these comments for you about how to mom, you know, and you get that the second in the hospital from your caretakers. Are you breastfeeding? Are you like, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And you just feel this pressure, like, because you love your kid so much, you want to do it right. But what's right for you is what's right for your kid. And that's your call. And let the haters gonna hate, let them live their life over there. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be this mom war of defensiveness, or you see it the longer you're a mom. There's different schools of moms with different ways of doing things, and it doesn't need to be them versus this, or homeschool versus public school, vaccines versus non-vaccinated, just to name a few of the ones. But like, we can still be friends even if we have different views. Let's just not shame each other or guilt each other. Let's just love one another and be like, hey, that's great for you. This is what I'm doing. Can we just celebrate everybody? Like, because all moms hopefully love their children endlessly and are doing the best they can. Let's just celebrate that.
True.
So that's how I kind of connected to this song. And we got through with a lot of hard work and a lot of Jesus provision. How would you summarize like our journey?
Well, this grew our faith to know that God will provide for all of our needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus.
Yeah.
And we are weak a lot of the time. But like Jesus says, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect. His power is perfect in my weakness. And it's just been interesting to see and hear people in our community pray and speak scripture to us and confirm, like, oh, that's actually what I was reading. Like, God is just choosing to repeat his truth to my dull mind. And he is so gracious and merciful to do that. It's just, I love God for doing what he's done and getting us through it. And there is a fulfilled promise in making it through at the end of a suffering, whatever it is. God said in his covenant, you'll be my people and I'll be your God. And Jesus told his disciples, hey, I am going to the cross. I am going to suffer. And that's how I will be your Savior. And anyway, I remember being in the, so on the cross, Jesus spoke a word, I think it's Greek, called tetelestai. At the end of his crucifixion, he said, tetelestai, it is finished, is what the translation, it is complete. And at the end of delivering a baby, okay, the pregnancy is complete.
Woo!
Like, we have the baby in our hands, praise the Lord. And through the predicted sufferings, there was a promised glory. Nice. And I get that from 1 Peter, and I was quoting Philippians earlier.
I liked what you did to summarize it with the tetelestai. Like, it is accomplished through predicted suffering to countless glories. Pregnancies accomplished through predicted suffering to the countless glories of seeing your kid flourish.
Smile at you.
Yeah, but it is more important of what Jesus did. He accomplished, conquering sin through death and suffering so that we could be with him in eternity. I think one thing this taught me is that every breath that Gabby and Rosie and Will take is a blessing to me. And, God gave us life, and we think about like, okay, like that's a blessing, but other people's lives and the breaths that you take are a blessing to me because, our daughter's like struggling to breathe for a little bit there. Every breath is a blessing.
Yeah.
Don't take it for granted.
She still squeaks when she breathes sometimes. I'm like, honey.
I know it scares both of us.
Open your throat and breathe, please.
Yeah.
In my journey of like figuring out how to serve with joy, there's been a slow realization that in my resources of time and energy, my free time, whatever I'm spending, throughout the day, it's not free. It's not mine. As a dad and husband, my time is not mine to waste or choose to spend on whatever. It's not my choice. It's theirs. My time is theirs to be spent. My time is not mine to waste. It is theirs to be spent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is joy and there is reward in that.
Yeah. Yeah, same for the moms. I think another way I would summarize this for me is don't count your fears in the moment. Just continue to have faith. If I had stopped at any point in the journey and been like, I almost miscarried, I could need an emergency C-section tomorrow because this could be critical. She's not breathing. If I had just stopped and let fear in, I wouldn't have made it. I just had to believe in such a way like, no, this is going to be okay. This is going to be, God is here. God is doing this. God gave me this baby. We're going to make, God is a good God. We're going to make it there. He's going to keep, he's going to keep being there. He's going to keep being there. And so if it felt like for those who are in our personal lives that I didn't share this with you, it's not that I didn't share it with you. It's that I wasn't even thinking about it. But now that we're on the other side of the journey, and we just want to take a moment to glorify and praise God. He brought us through at least 10 scary things if you were counting, because our notes did count. And he was there every time. So it's at least 10 miracles of provision and getting us to have 2 beautiful, healthy baby girls in our life. And so with that, the verse that we kept kind of leaning on, and we talked about in the hospital, we felt like we were living out during this time, was Philippians 4:4-8. And it says, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And so just retelling Gabby's story to y'all is us doing that. We are telling you of the praiseworthy and excellent things God did in our life through this season, even though it did require dying to self, hard work, being sustained, but oh my, what a beautiful journey it has been. So,
and our girls are sweet and stubborn.
Don't know where they get that from.
and smart as they are, beautiful, like their mom.
Aww. I would say the stubborn part, but thank you for the rest.
You can blame whatever you want on me.
All right, this video is probably for sure long enough. Thank you for staying with us if you made it this far. If you liked this kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.